Good day, virtual learners. Welcome to another fun learning experience in reading and writing. I am Ma'am Pinky S. Santos, your teacher for this day's lesson. Before we begin with our new topic, do you have these things ready? Please make sure to get a pen, a paper, and your learning module and take down notes as we go through the discussion. Are you ready? Let's start. First, let's have our most essential learning competency. Identify the properties of a well-written text, organization, coherence, cohesion, language, and mechanics. First, let's have a recap of what happened last time. Directions. Identify the different patterns of development by clicking the reaction button on your screen that corresponds to the right answer. You will be given 5 seconds to do so. Question number 1. Blank discusses the similarities and differences of two or more things, ideas, concepts, items, places, etc. Press the reaction button now. I'm giving you 5 seconds to do it. Timer starts now. Time's up. The answer is comparison and contrast. Question number 2. Blank discusses the results of an event and or states the reason why an event happened. Timer starts now. Did you get it right? The answer is cause and effect. Very good. Let's move on to question number 3. Blank is used to deal with topics that pose problems and present solutions in a logical manner. Timer starts now. The correct answer is problem solution. You're doing good. Let's move on to question number 4. Blank describes an issue and your position or opinion on the subject. What do you think is the answer? Timer starts now. Great! The answer is persuasion. Good job, learners! I am glad that you still remember the different patterns of development in writing. Now, let's try to continue learning by looking at the pictures on the next slide. Now, I want you to focus on this picture. Is it familiar to you? You're right. This is the train of the Light Rail Transit Authority, also known as LRTA. Have you experienced riding in this train? Great! Now, this train has its rail track from the first station, which is Monumento, to its last station, which is EDSA. What do you think will happen if there is a hole in the rail? Correct. The train will derail and worse, it might cause an accident. Same goes in writing. If your line of thought lacks clarity and the idea are not logically connected, the readers will have trouble understanding its meaning. In order to create a good paragraph or text, you need to know its properties. A well-written text must have first, organization. Next is mechanics. Next is coherence and cohesion. And the last is language use. Today, we will be focusing on coherence and cohesion. It is important for the parts of a written text to be connected. So another word for this is cohesion. What is cohesion? This word comes from the verb cohere, which means to stick together. Cohesion is therefore related to ensuring the words and sentences you use to stick together. The related adjective is cohesive, meaning united and working together and fitting together well. You can think of cohesion like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle, which need to fit together perfectly. Remember, cohesion is the key to having a coherent paragraph. Once your paragraph or text has good cohesion, it creates coherence. Now, what is coherence? Coherence relates to the macro level feature of a text, which help it to make a sense as a whole. The related adjective is coherent, meaning logically ordered and connected, clear and consistent, and understandable. You can think of coherence as if it's a whole jigsaw puzzle that gives us a clear picture when all of the pieces are correctly put together. Now that you already know what is cohesion and coherence, let us know how to achieve them. Good cohesion is achieved through these main methods. First element is reference words. Next is repeated words or ideas. Next is transition signals or devices and substitution. Let's take a look at reference words. Reference words are words that do not make sense on their own. They refer to something in the text or paragraph, and they are used to eliminate wordiness and unnecessary repetition. Examples are this, that, those, they, it, them, he or she, and which. Let's take a look at this example paragraph that I have on the screen. Can you help me locate the reference words used in this paragraph? You have 5 seconds to do it. Time's up. Do you have the same answer? Great. It and which refer to the word cohesion, and the word these refer to the important features. Another way to achieve cohesion is by repeating words. This includes using different forms of the word or repeating the same idea using synonyms. Let's take a look at the same paragraph and underline the similar words or ideas that are repeated. I'm giving you 5 seconds to do it. Time's up. Do you have the same answer? There are several words which mean the same on this text. The word cohesion is used twice along with the verb form coheres. The word writing is also used twice, and the phrase essay or report, which also represents the idea of writing. Next is the phrase important features, which means the same with key feature and important aspect. Now, what are transition signals or devices? They are also called cohesive devices or linking words. These are words or phrases which show the relationship between ideas. They serve as signals to let the reader know that previous idea in a sentence, in a paragraph, is connected to what it follows. There are many examples of transition signals. They are used to show causes, effects, to show comparison and contrast, and even to show sequence. Other examples of transition signals are also used to show addition like and, again, and then, besides, equally important, finally, further, furthermore, next, lastly, what's more, moreover, in addition. Some transition words are used to compare like whereas, but, yet, on the other hand, however, nevertheless, on the contrary, meanwhile, after all, and in contrast. Here are other additional examples to show sequence. We have first, second, third, next, then, finally, and previously. And to give an example, we have, for example, for instance, in this case, in another case, on this occasion, in this situation, take the case of, to demonstrate, to illustrate, as an illustration, to illustrate, and other examples. These are very helpful in achieving good cohesion in your paragraphs. Now, let's try to analyze this previous text and help me highlight the transition signals. I am giving you 5 seconds to do it. Time's up. So here are the transition signals, all related to enumerating the 5 important features. We have first, second, third, fourth, and final. Did you get the same answers? Let us now discuss substitution. It means using one or more words to replace or substitute for one or more words used earlier in the text. It is also similar to reference words. The main difference being that substitution is usually limited to the clause which follows the word or words being substituted. Whereas, reference words can refer to something far back in the text. The most common words used for substitution are one, and so, and auxiliary verbs such as do, have, and be. Now take a look at this sample sentence. The house on the left is my aunt's, while the one on the right is ours. Here, we use one as an example of substitution since it substitutes the word house. Here is another example. I take down notes during classes. In doing so, I get the chance to remember the lessons well. So here, the phrase doing so is an example of substitution because it substitutes the phrase take down notes. Now let's go back to the definition of coherence. Coherence relates to the organization and progression of ideas in the text. It refers to how clear or easy the ideas are to understand. It is said easier to achieve cohesion than to achieve good coherence. Sometimes, you as a writer have a lot of ways to organize ideas, a lot of topics that you can use which might be very clear to you, but might not be clear or confusing to the readers. Now, how are you going to achieve coherence? How to improve coherence? Of course, we need to make sure that the ideas are well organized. And we also need to make sure that the ideas can be understood by the reader. One way to help organize your ideas is by creating an outline before writing. Many students do not want creating one, but if you will get the hang of it, it will be easier for you to organize your thoughts. An outline contains a thesis statement, a topic sentence or topic sentences, supporting ideas, supporting details, reasons, examples, facts, statistics, and so on. Make sure to have a clear thesis statement, topic sentences, and summary so your paragraph will make sense. Also remember that all the ideas in the paragraph should relate to the topic sentence, and all the topic sentences should relate to your thesis statement. So, how are we going to make sure that the text or paragraph can be understood by the audience? First, consider the intended audience. Who will be reading your writing? What do they already know or do not know? Next is consider your purpose. If your purpose in writing is to explain, but your paragraph describes, instead of explains, the readers will be confused and they will not understand your writing. Lastly, if it's possible, consider peer editing. Of course, this is not possible during examination essays. But for other instances, you can ask somebody to read your writing to check if your ideas can be understood. Now, remember class, cohesion and coherence are important features of a well-written text. Cohesion ensures that the words and sentences you use join or stick together, while coherence relates to the organization and progression of ideas in the text and how clear or easy the ideas are to understand. So remember that these are the elements to achieve good cohesion. Reference words, repeated words or ideas, transition signals or devices, and substitution. How to improve coherence? Of course, you have to make sure that ideas are well organized. Make sure that ideas can be understood by the reader. Now, let's check what you have learned. Let's have a short activity. Directions. Identify the element of good cohesion used in each paragraph. A computer is a device for working with information. It can store numbers, words, pictures, movies, or sounds. As you can see, we have computer and it. So choose the right answer. I'm giving you 5 seconds to do it. Great! The answer is reference words. Next, people use computers every day at work, at school, and at home. In addition, computers are used in factories to control how things are made and in offices to keep records. What do you think is the answer? I'm giving you again 5 seconds to do it. Correct. The answer is C, transition signals or devices. In addition is used if there is an addition to a previous statement. Question number 3. Computers help us in many ways. These amazing machines make the lives of people easier by helping us accomplish things faster. What do you think is the answer? 5 seconds. Time's up. Okay, great. What do you think is the answer? All right, the answer is B, repeated words or ideas. Computers and amazing machines have similar meaning in the paragraph. Good job. Let's move on to the next question. Using computers is an effective way to maximize our time. In doing so, we accomplish things faster. What do you think is the answer? Timer starts now. Correct. The answer is D, substitution. The phrase doing so substitutes the phrase using computers. You've done a great job today. I think you are now ready to do your writing activity. If you have questions and clarifications, you can seek assistance from your reading and writing teacher. Thank you for actively participating in our virtual class, dear students. Keep learning and stay safe. See you!